She woke up every morning with pain in her legs, shortness of breath, and a heart weighed down by fear. The mirror didn't lie. Her body was changing, but not in the way she hoped. And then came the words no one wants to hear. Pause. You have type 2 diabetes. Dramatic pause. Slow zoom on her face, looking tired in bed. Meet Sarah. At 34 years old, she was living in a body that felt like a prison. Obesity had taken her energy, her freedom, and her joy. Each visit to the doctor came with more prescriptions, more warnings, and more fear. Her blood sugar numbers climbed. Her weight made even the smallest tasks, like tying her shoes or climbing stairs, feel impossible. Soft piano music begins, visuals of Sarah struggling, sitting on the edge of her bed, head in hands, emotional. At night, she cried quietly, wondering if she would live long enough to see her daughter grow up. The diagnosis felt like a life sentence. Somber music, slow pacing. Diabetes became her shadow. Pills lined her kitchen counter. Blood sugar checks became part of her routine. And every time she looked at the scale, the number seemed to climb higher. Friends and family told her to just lose weight, but it was never that simple. Food had become her comfort, her escape, her coping mechanism. Cut to Sarah in a grocery store, reaching for processed foods, then hesitating. Gentle. She avoided mirrors. She skipped social gatherings. She felt trapped in a cycle of guilt, shame, and helplessness. Pause. But beneath all that pain, there was a spark, tiny but alive. Music softens. Faint sound of child's laughter. One evening, her little daughter showed her a drawing. It was a picture of Mommy lying in bed, and beside her, a sad little girl holding her hand. Sarah froze. That drawing hit her harder than any doctor's words. Heartbeat sound. Music shifts from somber to hopeful, slow build. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling, tears rolling down her face. In that moment, she made a promise, not to her doctor, not to society, but to her daughter. Pause. I will fight. I will not let diabetes steal my future. Visuals of her lacing sneakers, throwing away soda cans, packing healthy groceries. Firm, motivating. The next morning, she took her first step, literally. Just 5 minutes of walking around the block. Her legs hurt. She was out of breath. But she didn't quit. The next day, she walked 6 minutes. Then 7. Slowly, painfully, she built momentum. Inspiring music rises as visuals show her sweating, pushing herself, smiling faintly after a walk. She swapped fried foods for grilled meals, soda for water, late-night snacking for early morning walks. The changes were small but powerful. And with every healthy choice, Sarah began to feel something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Inspiring instrumental music, brighter visuals. Excited, proud. Weeks turned into months. Sarah kept going. She started losing weight, not overnight, but steadily. 5 pounds became 10. 10 became 30. Her clothes fit differently. Her reflection began to smile back at her. Montage. Sarah cooking colorful meals, jogging slowly, checking her blood sugar with a hopeful face. At her next doctor's visit, the numbers told a story of progress. Her blood sugar was coming down. Her blood pressure improved. For the first time, her doctor smiled and said, "You're moving in the right direction." Dramatic pause. Music swells as Sarah hugs her daughter tightly. Uplifting. Sarah was no longer surviving. She was living. Bright visuals, strong, inspiring music. After a year of determination, sweat, and tears, Sarah stepped on the scale, 60 pounds lighter. Her blood sugar? Normal. Her energy? Restored. Her spirit? Unstoppable. Cut to doctor's office. Sarah smiling as doctor says, "You are no longer diabetic, emotional, triumphant." Her doctor's words brought tears to her eyes. "Sarah, you have reversed your diabetes." She had done the impossible. She had beaten type 2 diabetes. Montage. Sarah running in the park, laughing with her daughter, enjoying life. The woman who once felt broken had rebuilt herself. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Soft, uplifting music. Close-up shot of Sarah smiling at the camera. Narrator gentle, powerful. Sarah's story is not just about weight loss or blood sugar levels. It's about courage, about refusing to give up when life feels impossible. She is living proof that with discipline, love, and hope, you can rewrite your story. Pause. Screen shows text. Your health is your power. If you're living with diabetes, remember this. You are not alone. Every small step counts. Every healthy choice matters. And every day is a new chance to fight back. Inspiring music rises. If Sarah can do it, so can you. Fade out with her walking into the sunrise, holding her daughter's hand. Words on screen. From obesity to healthy, you can too. Dark screen, faint heartbeat. Dramatic music builds serious, cinematic tone. She woke up every morning with pain in her legs and fear in her heart. Breathing felt heavy. Moving felt harder. And one day, sitting in a doctor's office, she heard the word that shattered her world. Pause. You have type 2 diabetes. Dramatic pause. Visuals of Sarah staring blankly, holding papers in her hand. This is Sarah's story. The story of how a woman trapped by obesity and diabetes found the strength to fight back, to rise again, and to reclaim her life. Inspiring music swells. If you're struggling today, let her journey give you hope. Soft piano music. Slow motion shots of daily challenges. At 34 years old, Sarah's body was breaking down. Walking upstairs left her breathless. Tying her shoes felt like climbing a mountain. Her energy was gone, her confidence shattered. Cut to scenes of her avoiding mirrors, sitting in bed surrounded by pills and test strips. Gentle, emotional. Food had become her comfort, her escape from stress and pain. But with every sugary drink, every fast food meal, her body paid the price. Her blood sugar climbed, her weight soared, and her hopes sank lower each day. Pause, music quietens. She stopped going out with friends. She avoided family gatherings. She smiled less, cried more, and secretly feared she might not live to see her daughter's teenage years. Somber music. Child's laughter faint in background. One evening, as Sarah sat on the couch, her little daughter walked up with a crayon drawing. It showed Mommy lying in bed with a sad little girl holding her hand. That picture pierced her heart. Visual of Sarah holding the drawing, tears in her eyes. Softly. That night, Sarah broke down. She cried harder than she ever had. But in that pain, something awakened. Pause. She realized she wasn't just fighting for herself, she was fighting for her daughter's future. Music shifts to hopeful tones. Heartbeat quicker. The next morning, Sarah made a choice. She put on old sneakers and walked out her front door. Just 5 minutes. Her legs burned, her chest tightened, but she kept going. Cut to visuals of her walking slowly, sweating but determined, firm, motivating. The following day, 6 minutes. Then 7. Soon, walking became a routine. She began swapping soda for water, burgers for grilled chicken, late-night snacking for early morning exercise. Inspiring music rises, montage of small lifestyle changes, meal prep, water bottles, steps tracker. Each choice was small, but together they were powerful. Sarah began to feel something she hadn't felt in years, hope. Inspiring instrumental, visuals brighten. Weeks turned into months. Sarah's discipline grew stronger. She learned to cook colorful meals full of vegetables and lean proteins. She discovered the joy of movement, walking, stretching, even light jogging. Montage. Sarah cooking, sweating at a gym, smiling faintly at her reflection. Excited, proud. Her body responded. The scale moved, slowly at first, but surely. 5 pounds gone, then 10. Her blood sugar numbers began to drop. At her next doctor's visit, the doctor said with surprise, "Sarah, you're improving." Pause. Uplifting music swells as she hugs her daughter tightly. For the first time in years, Sarah felt like she was winning. Inspiring, cinematic crescendo. By the end of her first year, Sarah had lost more than 60 pounds. Her body was lighter, her spirit stronger. She had reversed the very disease that once threatened her life. Doctor's voice, "You're no longer diabetic." Emotional, triumphant. Tears streamed down her face as she heard those words. She had beaten type 2 diabetes. She had done what many thought was impossible. Montage. Sarah running in the park, shopping for fresh produce, laughing freely with her daughter. The woman who once avoided mirrors now smiled at her. Reflection. The woman who once cried herself to sleep now woke up with energy, strength, and gratitude. Bright visuals, soft, inspiring music. Sarah's journey didn't end with weight loss or normal blood sugar. It was the beginning of a new life. She discovered self-love, discipline, and resilience she never knew she had. Cut to Sarah teaching her daughter how to cook healthy meals, jogging together, laughing in the sunlight, uplifting. She became an example for her family, her community, and everyone who believed that diabetes meant the end of joy. Sarah proved it was just the beginning of a fight worth winning. Soft but powerful music. Close-up of Sarah smiling at camera. Gentle, motivational. Sarah's story is not just about weight loss. It's about courage. It's about refusing to give up when life feels impossible. It's about believing that change is possible one step at a time. Pause. Text on screen. Your health is your power. If you are living with diabetes, remember this. You are not alone. Every choice matters. Every step forward counts. And every day is a new chance to fight back. Inspiring music swells. If Sarah can do it, so can you. Fade out with Sarah walking into the sunrise, holding her daughter's hand. Words on screen. From obesity to healthy, you can too. Dark screen, soft heartbeat sound. Dramatic music begins to rise. Serious tone. She woke up every morning feeling trapped inside her own body. Her legs hurt. Her breathing was heavy. And deep inside, she carried a fear she could not ignore. Pause. At just 34 years old, she heard the words that changed everything. You have type 2 diabetes. Cut to visuals of Sarah sitting alone, holding her medical report, tears in her eyes, emotional. This is Sarah's story. A woman once broken by obesity and diabetes, who found the courage to fight back, to heal, and transform her life. Inspiring music swells softly. Somber piano music. Slow visuals of daily hardships. Obesity weighed down every part of Sarah's life. Stairs felt like mountains. Tying her shoes left her breathless. Simple chores became battles. Cut to Sarah sitting in her kitchen, surrounded by fast food wrappers and medicine bottles. Gentle, reflective. Food was her comfort, but also her enemy. Sugary drinks, fried meals, late-night snacks. They numbed her pain but pushed her deeper into sickness. Pills and blood sugar checks became her daily routine. Each doctor's visit brought heavier news, more warnings, and greater fear. Pause. Soft sound of child's laughter in background. She avoided mirrors. She withdrew from friends. At night, she cried silently, wondering if she would live to watch her daughter grow up. The turning point. Music softens, then shifts to a slow, hopeful build. One evening, her daughter handed her a crayon drawing. It showed Mommy lying in bed with a sad little girl by her side. Sarah's heart broke. Pause. That picture was her wake-up call. Visual. Sarah holding the drawing, tears rolling down her cheeks, firm, emotional. That night, she made a promise, not just to herself, but to her daughter. I will fight. I will not let diabetes take me away from you. Cut the scene of Sarah lacing up old sneakers, stepping outside at sunrise. The next morning, Sarah began her battle. Her first walk lasted 5 minutes. Her legs burned, her chest pounded, but she didn't stop. The next day, she walked 6 minutes. Then 7. Each day, a little stronger, a little. Inspiring instrumental music begins. Visuals brighten. Sarah started making small changes. Soda was replaced with water. Fried food with grilled chicken. Midnight snacking with early morning walks. Pause. They were small steps, but they built a powerful path. Montage. Sarah meal prepping, grocery shopping for vegetables, exercising with sweat on her face. Motivational. Weeks turned into months. The scale began to move. 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 30 pounds. Her blood sugar started to fall. For the first time, her doctor smiled and said, "Sarah, you're getting better." Cut to Sarah hugging her daughter with tears of joy. She was no longer sinking. She was rising. Music swells to a triumphant beat, visuals bright and full of energy. After a year of discipline, sweat, and determination, Sarah had lost more than 60 pounds. Her energy returned. Her confidence shined. And her blood sugar? Normal. Doctor's voice. You're no longer diabetic. Emotional, triumphant. Those words felt like freedom. She had beaten type 2 diabetes. She had done what once seemed impossible. Montage. Sarah jogging in a park, laughing with her daughter, cooking healthy meals. The woman who once hid in shame was now a symbol of strength and court. Soft but uplifting music. Close-up of Sarah smiling at camera. Gentle, uplifting. Sarah's journey is proof that diabetes does not define you. It challenges you, but it can also change you. With courage, patience, and love, you can rise above it. Pause. Words appear on screen. Your health is your power. If you are living with diabetes, remember this. You are not alone. Every step matters. Every choice counts. And every new day is a chance to begin again. Inspiring music rises. If Sarah can do it, so can you. Fade out. Sarah walking into the sunrise, holding her daughter's hand. Final screen text. From obesity to healthy, you can too.